Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Ash Lovell, and I am very excited to be here with you today. I'm joined by Maggie Long from Call to Recycle. We are going to be talking about the e-bike battery recycling program that is run by Call to Recycle and endorsed by People for Bikes. We've got a lot to share with you today, so thanks so much for being here, and let's kick it off. All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about who is People for Bikes, what do we do for the industry. We'll talk about Call to Recycle and all of the incredible work that their organization leads. We'll talk about the why for this program, how it was created, what the intention is. We'll talk about how it's going so far, kind of what's the program status, what are we looking for next, how is it going with the industry, what do we need from you. We'll talk about the legislative overview, what legislation has been passed and what is legislation that is pending and how does that all relate to battery recycling and the requirements that are going to be coming down the pike for our industry. And then we'll talk about joining the program. And I'll start with a quick People for Bikes intro. So again, I'm Ash Lovell. I am the Vice President of Government Relations at People for Bikes. People for Bikes is the bicycle industry's trade association, and we represent over 325 bicycle industry supplier members and nearly 1.5 million individual riders. We work nationwide on three main pillars, policy, participation, and infrastructure. And a big piece of the work that we're doing with Call to Recycle is related to policy and recycling and sustainability policies that are rolling out at the state level across the country. So we're really excited to have this proactive relationship with this really fantastic nonprofit that has been doing this kind of work across the country for a long time. And we're really happy to have our members have the opportunity to join this and really have a lot of opportunities to not have to worry about different pieces of legislation that are coming down the pike. So with that, I'll say thanks so much for being here, and I'll hand it over to Maggie.
Awesome. Thank you, Ash. And thank you, everyone, so much for being here today. Happy almost Halloween. My name is Maggie Long, and I manage the e-bike battery recycling program here at Call to Recycle. And I want to start by just providing a little bit of background on who Call to Recycle is as an organization so that we can better frame the e-bike battery recycling program that we're focusing on today. So Call to Recycle is a not-for-profit battery stewardship organization that was founded in 1994 by the rechargeable battery industry to fund the collection and recycling of nickel-cadmium batteries. This was directly in response to EPA universal waste laws that were prohibiting NiCad batteries from being thrown into curbside collection trash and recycling bins. Our organization has continued to operate and expand on those programs for the last 30 years, helping producers to meet state compliance obligations, while also operating a national footprint of collection sites for consumers to safely and compliantly recycle their end-of-life portable, rechargeable, and single-use batteries. Our mission as an organization is to help resolve for the logistical challenges and the regulatory intricacies that come with collecting and recycling batteries safely and compliantly and responsibly, spanning from consumer household batteries all the way up to electric vehicle batteries. So again, Call to Recycle has been operating these portable battery programs for over 30 years. And as our world continues to electrify, everyday consumers become increasingly dependent on battery-powered products in their homes. And in today's world, many of these products are using batteries that are large in size and fall outside of that portable battery definition and into the medium format battery category. And one of those products, as you can probably guess, is e-bike batteries, which brings us to current day and the creation of the e-bike battery recycling program. Conversations around e-bike battery disposal in context of an industry solution began in 2021 with People for Bikes and their members, recognizing that there was a huge gap in what was being put into the market by the industry, and the ability for retailers and riders to easily dispose of end-of-life e-bike batteries. So not only was this a convenience issue, it was also becoming more and more of a safety risk, with retailers oftentimes storing old batteries in their shops and consumers holding on to these products in their garages and their storage spaces because there really was no clear path to disposal. And I think, just kind of a personal note, I think one of the incredible things about the bicycle industry is that collectively, this group tends to nurture and care for things that directly impact our communities on a social and an environmental level. And I think that the recognition of end-of-life e-bike battery management really highlights this and is made clearly evident in the actions that the industry took in response to those conversations. So People for Bikes and its members approached Call to Recycle to administer a national e-bike battery recycling program on the industry's behalf to simplify end-of-life e-bike battery management with a national turnkey solution that not only makes it super easy for riders and retailers to dispose of these products compliantly, but also, very importantly, would ensure compliance with all upcoming state legislation, which I will touch more on after a brief status update of the program. So the program officially launched on March 1st, 2022. We're currently on year 4 of program operations. And during that time, we've gone from launching the program with 20 founding members to growing our steward list to over 60 participating brands who are funding the program to ensure their products can be safely and compliantly disposed of at end of life. And that means that any retailer and any consumer that has an e-bike battery from one of these brands can recycle that battery through this program. The program is also supporting over 2,400 bicycle retailers who have self-registered and completed the program safety training, which allows them to serve as public-facing collection sites for consumers of participating brands to recycle their batteries through the program. These retailers get access to end-of-life recycling kits, damaged battery recycling kits, safety materials, supplemental safety training and resources, digital assets, point-of-sale materials, on and on. And in such a short period of time, we're really excited to report that our accessibility data shows that 77% of the contiguous US population lives within 15 miles of an e-bike battery collection site, which is critical to supporting the program's call to action for riders. And we've seen tremendous progress on battery collections to date. We've collected over 145,000 pounds of e-bike batteries for recycling since the program launched, which again is just incredibly impressive for such a young program, and I think speaks volumes about the groundwork that the industry has laid. And we continue to see year over year growth in collection rates, which is what we expect as more and more of these batteries reach end of life and are ready to exit the market. So I want to go back to the extended producer responsibility piece of this program. The program was launched and currently is completely voluntary, meaning that there are no currently enforced state requirements for battery or battery product producers of medium format batteries. But like the rechargeable battery programs that the organization launched in 1994, a primary driver behind the creation of this specific program was to ensure producer compliance in anticipation of upcoming state EPR laws that will encompass medium format batteries in the law's definition of a covered product. So now that time is quickly approaching, and this is really the meat of what I want to touch on today and make sure we use this time to make sure everyone here understands what those upcoming obligations are. So this map shows where medium format battery EPR laws, which include e-bike batteries, between 300 and 2,000 watt hours in scope are moving forward with a determined enforcement date. So Illinois and Vermont laws for medium format battery producers are becoming enforced starting January 1st, 2026. Connecticut and Colorado will be following suit in 2027, Nebraska 28, and then Washington State in 2029. And so just want to take a moment to dive deeper into what does that mean. So starting Jan 1, 2026, to sell a battery or a battery powered product into Illinois or Vermont, the obligated producer must be a part of an approved stewardship plan that facilitates end-of-life management of those products. And an approved stewardship plan can mean a lot of things. I just listed out some of the high-level requirements that would need to be met per state laws, such as collection site accessibility, the documentation and meeting of performance goals, education and outreach plans, and dedicated staff. So the producers who will be obligated to these laws really have two options. They can submit their own plans to the state for approval and execute their own plans, or they can choose to join a battery stewardship organization to administer the plan on their behalf. And just to highlight again, that's really the core of what Call to Recycle does and why we were founded. We take that obligation off of producers so that they can focus on what they do best, and Call to Recycle handles those state requirement needs. For any existing stewards of the Call to Recycle program who may be on the call right now, please note that starting Jan 1, 2026, nothing will change for you in terms of program operations. The e-bike battery recycling program was designed and launched to ensure full compliance with these state laws. And for any folks who may be on the call looking for a path towards compliance in these states, I will touch briefly on what that process looks like from our organization's perspective. So if you're interested in learning more or joining the program, please reach out to me directly. My email is on the screen. Ash also has my contact info, and it'll be sent out in a follow-up email after this call. From there, we can set up a call to chat through any questions you might have, and then send you the program agreement that outlines both responsibilities of producer and also responsibilities of Call to Recycle. The paperwork gets signed by your organization and countersigned by Call to Recycle. And from there, we'll get your company set up in our system as a participating steward. And this includes a one-time join fee payment, as well as monthly reporting on units sold into the US market. Just high level, the one-time join fee is based off of sales volume since program launch. And for the remainder of 2025, we do have a discounted rate on that. So if you're interested, please get in touch so that we can run those numbers for your specific company. And the monthly reporting on units sold funds the ongoing program administration and collection of batteries. And I do just want to reiterate there that that upfront cost and upfront payment from the producer of the product is really rooted in ensuring that state compliance with extended producer responsibility laws. After that setup is completed, we'll update the Call to Recycle website with your brand's logo, as well as our compliant steward and brands lists that states refer to when confirming brand compliance. And at that point, we'll also want to get in touch with your marketing team to make sure that they have access to everything they need to promote your brand's participation in this program through your channels. Make sure that your rider base knows that this is their path forward to disposing their e-bike battery now or in the future. And we'll also work to onboard your retailer network. So retailers register at no cost from Call to Recycle. It's a self-registration. There's a short online training, and then immediately after, they'll have access to safety materials, recycling kits with prepaid shipping labels, point of sale materials, digital assets, and more. So I hope that this was helpful, pretty quick. If nothing else, I hope that everyone can kind of walk away from this call with just a better understanding of your obligations as a producer, especially selling into Illinois and Vermont starting Jan 1, 2026, and then in the future with Colorado, Nebraska, Connecticut, and Washington. This is a solution that was brought forward by the industry, and Call to Recycle is administering this program on their behalf. So we're really, really proud to see all of the progress that's been made in just 4 short years of operation, thanks to the 60+ participating brands and our incredible collection network of retailers who they're making it super easy and safe for riders to do the right thing and keep our community safe and our natural environment intact. So with that, thank you, and look forward to being in touch.
Thanks, Maggie.
Yeah.
I think if folks have any questions that they want to ask right now, we could have you drop it into the chat. So we're just going to hold a little bit of time for anyone to ask any. Oh, I see a Q&A.
Sweet.
Okay, from Ben, in 2026, when reporting sales, will there be a specific line for reporting sales into states with compliance laws?
It's a good question. So there will be nothing changed to the current reporting structure. If you're familiar with the reporting portal, it'll all look the same. The one change will be on invoicing. We will be breaking out invoicing by jurisdiction, and that's just based on percent of population and the allocation of fees going into that state. But the cost doesn't change. The reporting itself doesn't change. This is more of just additional details on the invoice so that you can see where fees are going and being allocated to.
Thanks, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions? Maggie did do an excellent job. That was very comprehensive, Maggie. And we can send these slides as a follow-up for anyone who's interested. We can also, of course, send more information on how to join the program. The best next step is to reach out directly to Maggie, and we will, of course, send her contact information to you. Okay, we got another one. Look at me filibustering until other people ask questions. And again, if the brands are paying fees, is there a cost for retailers to get set up?
There is no cost for retailers to participate. They register for the program and get access to all of the materials with no financial transaction between Call to Recycle and the retailer. That includes all prepaid return shipping labels on end-of-life kits, as well as freight charges for any LTL shipments we have to do.
I got another one. Regarding Washington labeling, quote unquote, producers shall mark their batteries with their brand, unquote. Does that mean that the bike manufacturer or the manufacturer of the battery?
That's a really great question, and I think will be something I'll take to our legislative expert at Call to Recycle, and we can include that in the follow-up to this call.
Excellent. Thanks, Maggie. Thank you, Barney, for the question. Wonderful. All right. Thank you all so much, Maggie. Thank you for being such a leader on this. We really appreciate it. The industry thanks you. And Maggie, any final thoughts you want to share?
Not right now. I will follow up shortly with the response to that labeling question. But yeah, please reach out if you have any questions, big or small, related to the program. Always happy to chat through that with you or any other members of your team.
Great. Thanks all for being here. Thanks
so
Maggie.
much. Have a great day, everyone.